As the moon rises, the world of darkness awakens, one after another. And with that, I need everyone to give me their evening's rouse check.
Yeah. I do not get hungrier.
Good. Acer?
I don't get hungrier.
Good. Crescent?
Don't get hungry.
3 for 3.
Onyx, don't combo break.
Why did you say that?
No, I'm good.
Oh, she's good. Okay, we're good.
The start of the fresh evening, as usual. If anyone has superficial willpower damage, you may recover up to either your composure or resolve, the highest of the two.
Do I roll separately to recover superficial damage, like health?
Yes, it is a hunger check. It is a hunger check per round.
It's a separate hunger check.
Yes.
Okay.
If so, do you want to try and mend some damage?
I would like to, yes.
All right.
Because I've got 3 and I can mend.
You can mend 2 at a time. So you're currently sitting at 3 superficial. Do you want to mend real quick?
I would.
Give me first rouse check.
Success.
Success. You have 1 superficial left if you want to mend some more.
Normally I would say no. But since that's success, I'm going to go.
Okay, so are you going to rouse again?
And fail, yeah.
And fail. All right. Unfortunately, as you start your evening, that orchid begins to bloom brighter as you surge your body to the surface. The blood, the precious vitae, healing the scars and wounds of old, to the point where that ivory porcelain skin now remains unblemished. But you do get hungrier and are sitting at 3 hunger.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So, this is going to be interesting and exciting. Our evening starts as we fade into the ESSC. Mr. Holland. Actually, I apologize. Acer. I keep forgetting you being a filthy daywalker. You awaken earlier than the rest of your companions. It appears that with the late evening that you have spent in, you look over your clock. It's a little later than you normally wake up. You would know that Grayson, Crescent, and most likely Onyx will probably be waking up within a few moments. But is there any initial things you wish to do?
Day routine, get myself showered and all that, and then he will sit down and I will also pray for luck. He will work on that phone, hopefully for the last time.
Okay. So, go ahead and give me, as this is going to be the final stages, this is going to be your application of skill. So, I'll say for this at last craft attempt, this is going to be you putting it together. This is going to be your wits plus craft. And this is considered gadgets, so go for it. Add your specialty.
Okay.
This is going to be 7 dice total, I believe.
Correct, yes.
Don't forget your hunger.
Indeed. No, I need my willpower for something else, so I'll just take that. 4 with just 1 crit.
Normal crit?
Normal crit, yes.
4 is exactly what you needed. Mm-hmm. It does take you some time, and you have to work feverishly for, let's say, about 20, 30 minutes to put the parts together. But by the end of it, you begin to piece this device together. I'll come back to you in just a moment as you go through this process. As Mr. Holland, you are next to awaken on our list. You bring yourself back into the evening world, still composed from the night before, your book tucked away safely into your desk. The dictator stays quiet. But you do awaken. How do you prepare for this evening?
I get up from my couch and look over myself, think a few of the minor injuries here and there, and just specifically the bite that I took, and I'd like to mend that.
All right, go ahead and give me a rouse checks to see if you mend that lovely little parting gift from our deceased friend.
And I will say, do not get hungrier.
And you watch as you just take a slight, cleansing, habitual breath. Unneeded, but some habits die hard. as the flesh knits, snapping back in place, reweaving itself, a bruise rapidly fading, and before long, your abdomen is clear and the bite is no more.
Excellent.
How would you like to prepare for this evening? You would know that Ace was probably in his lab, most likely tinkering away with some project, as he typically does earlier in the evening. And you do recall that the group had decided to reconvene to figure out tonight's events on how you're going to proceed. And some of that stress starts to build back to the surface of, all right, tonight we need to deal with Eleanor somehow and come to an agreement.
Can't be left alone by her own means. That much is clear. I go over to my desk and I open up my phone and I message both Onyx and Acer. Evening's greetings. I send.
Perfect. Onyx, I am to understanding that you're currently busy with your own situation at this time.
I am already preparing at this point.
Okay, so I would say, considering that this moment, you would be away from your phone.
Probably.
Okay, we'll touch back on you in just a moment then. But Acer, as you begin working in the middle of your project, your phone does go off.
Sup, moon dog. Send.
I look at my phone to see the message. Dog. He's slang, I assume. But now that I know he's awake, I will let him know. Earliest convenience, my office. Discussions. Extend and I go over to my desk and I slightly opening that drawer again with the book.
You slide it back as the pages are still there, the book still the illustrious color. It appears to have held on to its evening's meal. The leather on top darkened, that slightly, almost this maroon red, with a bit of the silver filigree, the Impaler's title still coursing over the front of it.
I take the book out and I place it on my desk and very gently open up to a blank page. Bring my hand. I would like to know more, friend. And I will open up my wrist and I will feed the book.
How much do you attempt to feed it?
I will give it 1 for now.
1 rouse check's worth?
1 rouse check's worth.
Go ahead and give me a rouse check.
Wow, not hungry.
You slice your wrist open over the pages as Vitae drips down onto the blank text. The pages flutter for a moment as the blood makes contact, and as each drop to slosh to arc of blood begins to dribble onto the pages, it quickly becomes absorbed. And as it begins to coalesce, more writing begins to start to unveil itself. Appears as the blood begins to spread. At certain points, pages go from blackened red to a silvery ink, as if a secret message begins to unfold. Diagrams and patterns begin to make themselves known. Entries and notes begin to reveal themselves. You see a title. Essence of Air. Within the quick margins, it appears that perhaps if studied this ritual may allow someone flight. A concoction, a brew. You have to spend some time to study this. It's not something you can just pull out of nowhere. This requires preparation, memorization, and specific training to understand how this ritual functions without having to risk something messing up. But with time, and as long as the book is fed, you now have access to learn the Essence of Air ritual for blood sorcery.
I will definitely spend my time studying this page of the book.
At this point, Acer, I would say you've successfully completed your project. It looks brutish, very experimental. It's a bit bulkier and bigger than you'd wish. You're going to have to figure a way to improve this. You question its durability. It probably won't survive getting thrown around very well. All that's left, though, is to have Crescent try it and see if she could maybe send a text message. We'll have to see. But give me a wits and awareness, please.
You got it.
And Crescent, can I please get that first roll, please?
The one that we did was Dex and Stealth, and that was a 6.
6 Dexes. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
I had to re-roll that one, I remember, but
Yes.
yeah.
I kept note of that. Thank you.
3.
3. You're gathering your supplies. Getting your stuff to go to Grayson's office, correct?
Correct. He summoned me, therefore I must back everything up, grab my phone, grab the experimental phone.
As you start packing your things together, you can't help but notice there's... odd. It's weird. Those speakers aren't where you left them. Where is that? Why is that not in its place? And you look over and you can see on one corner of the room, on one of your other areas of work, there's a jug of alcohol left behind, and you're missing a few beakers. You look around some more. You see a small white envelope folded up on Crescent's beanbag chair in her corner.
I'm gonna walk over and pick up the envelope.
It's light. Feels like there's something inside it. Something small.
Gonna open it up.
Crescent, what does Acer find inside the envelope?
He finds my crescent necklace that I always wear. And a note, basically saying, I'm sorry that I got you all involved in this mess. It was my fight to begin with, and now it's my fight to finish. Regardless of the outcome, I'm thankful for each and every one of you. Thank you. And there's no signature or anything. It's just implied you know who it's from.
Oh, shit. Rushing to Grayson right now.
Grayson, as you place your hand on the drawer, your mind lost in what this could offer, you do feel something. As you pull your hand away from the book, you find that you wanted to keep holding it. It's almost as if this was a child in your arms. You wouldn't know what it's like to be a father, but this would be the closest thing that you could relate to, maybe. Just this desire to protect this twin soul, so to speak. You almost feel emboldened with your arcane strength. And that feeling begins to fade, sadly, as you remove your hand from the drawer, but there's still that connection. There's still this overwhelming urge to keep this, to protect this. This is special. You don't have much long to really dissect this thought as the door to your office slams right open, snapping you out of your haze.
Fine.
Yeah, we got a problem.
Crescent, I need your second roll at this point.
That was... You had me roll composure plus larceny, and that was a 3.
Both times, both rolls are successful. That one was one bit close. But successful nonetheless. As Acer, you slam the door open to Grayson's office, charging in. Grayson, you look over to Acer, his eyes are wide. He is holding in his hands a small necklace, and you blink. Isn't that Crescent's necklace? With an envelope also in his hand, and he is panicked.
Yeah, we got a problem.
I push away from my chair and I immediately go over to Acer.
And I will give him the note and just be like, Crescent's gone rogue.
Sorry for involving all you. This is my fight.
Yep. And I'm going to bring up my phone, and I'm just going to quickly switch through all the camera feeds. I want to see if any of them glitch or anything. I'm looking to see if Crescent's still around or if Enzo is still around.
Quickly scanning through the feeds on your phone. There's nothing. Clear. Oh, There's Enzo in your lab. Looks like you may have just missed him. He seems to be waiting around, a little confused, as no one has summoned him, potentially. But he seems to just walk over to one corner of the room as the camera glitches every now and then with his movements. It almost looks as if there's 3 or 4 of them walking the strange slow motion movement for where he stands as he just makes himself comfortable, leans over. You can see his hands glitching through and pointing at some of the books on the small personal library as he seems to make himself comfortable and wait. But as he continues scrolling, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there. You're not seeing Crescent. You're not seeing Crescent. Why aren't you seeing Crescent? And then you see at the garage and her bike is gone.
Okay, we got a problem. Crescent's gone, and even worse, Enzo's still here.
Grayson, your phone goes off.
I snatch it up and immediately I just answer it.
Onyx, you're the one calling.
Look, I don't have a whole lot of time, and I don't know a whole lot of ghosts or a whole lot about ghosts. I didn't even know that they existed until just now. I don't know a whole lot about the occult or the somber shit, but I need you to listen because you're the only Tremere I know. And I need you to answer my questions fast because Crescent's life depends on it.
Let me guess, you're trying to help her.
You hear a hard muscled engine revving as the sound of storm rain begins to impact what it can only be sound as hard tempered glass of a vehicle. As you can tell, Onyx is driving down the road fast.
Look, I got a vision last night that I sure as hell didn't want. But it looks as if Crescent is deciding to go after the sheriff by herself. And she's either going to be making a deal with her or she's going to die trying. So I need you to answer my questions real fast.
B, hurry.
1, I just saw a salt circle in my vision with something of Eleonora's inside. What? I'm guessing it's to keep people out. Am I correct in that?
All circles.
Grayson, go ahead and give me an intelligence plus occult. Do you go to the book?
I think yes. Yeah.
You immediately unhook it, Onyx. You can hear the sounds of mechanical locks twisting and turning as a wooden drawer is pulled out and a heavy of the tome hits the actual desk. Acer, you watch as Grayson immediately flips over the book. It looks slightly different than what you remember. Go give me a wits and awareness.
Just to save time, can I see this on the way out to get Enzo? Because I need to fill him in so we're all on the same page.
If you're more focused on going to get Enzo or looking at the book, it's up to you. This is kind of everybody's moving quickly right now.
In that case, I'll just make a mental note that it looks a little different and go get Enzo, and
disregard the roll. You're on the way to get Enzo.
Done deal.
But
that was a high roll too. I'm kind of pissed about that. But you know what? Time is of the essence. I can't be worrying about that right now.
As Grayson, you slam down the book and you hear, "Oh, not so rough, my friend." As you peel open the pages and you begin flipping through it. Go ahead and give me an intelligence plus occult. And as you are trying to pull these thoughts to your mind, this memory of anything you're teaching, you find that the pages start slipping out of your hands at the mere thought. Go ahead and add a +2 die roll to the occult.
All right, then. Interesting. That'll be 5 successes this time.
5 successes. As you begin scrolling, all of a sudden the pages start taking out of your hand without you even needing to touch the page anymore, and your eyes just watch. You feel in the back of your mind, "Let me help you. I think I know what you're looking for, friend. I can help." As it lands on a random page in the center of the book, as silver text begins to fade to the surface, you begin reading through salt circles. Protective wards, protective. They're meant to keep not people or vampires out. They're meant to keep the supernatural. Salt repels spirits. Salt is meant to keep ghosts from touching things, crossing certain boundaries. It is a primitive way, but it seems to work for ghosts. There's something that is circled with salt is to keep ghosts from being able to touch it, to be able to take it.
I snatch back up the phone. Are you there?
I'm here.
Not against us, our kind or humans. It's against a ghost. She's protecting something from them.
So if I go in and I grab it, nothing's going to happen?
As far as I tell, it shouldn't hurt her unless she's got allergic to salt.
Well, unless suddenly you start sneezing ridiculously amount, but no, it shouldn't do anything to you. It's purely against them.
All right. Well, here's the deal. Crescent is on her way now, and I'm following her. I've seen what she's going to be doing. She's got some Molotovs. I'm guessing courtesy of Acer. We're going to be... I'm going to be following her in, and I'm going to try and give her some leverage. You guys might need to get over to the church. But I would recommend not letting her know that you're following her, because I don't want her to jump into it. It kind of seems like that mind state. Second, do you guys know anything about what could be lurking in that church and waiting for me when I get there?
I had a guess. I think it's more of the things that we saw in the sewer, maybe in a smaller amount, but I can't be 100% certain. She doesn't like being alone.
Gotcha. And the last question. You got any magic shit that helps with fire?
We'll find guide you. You'll be helped. I hang up.
That was cryptic as hell, Onyx, but it appears that Grayson might have something up his sleeve. How far away do you park from the church, as you have not been able to keep eyes on Crescent, but you know where she's going, you know what she's planning, and you know where the church is?
Correct. I believe I parked far enough away, a few blocks away, and I waited to have a vision of see how she got in.
So, as you park far enough away, you begin moving closer towards the church until you're maybe about a block away. You can see the actual church from across the street. It is a fairly calm night, but the rain is definitely coming down from the outside. Not heavy, but it's bitter. There's a slight wind to the air. Wind like this could only make flames worse if it gets out of hand. Damn the rain itself. Seattle's not known for heavy downpours, only annoying scrapings of water, just to keep things soggy. But I remember you did request a vision for this. We did roll for it already. Mm-hmm. As you look at the foreboding church, you can see glinting of shifting light, candlelight, on the inside of the building. As you will your sixth sense to open, a single flash comes through your mind. It shows an overhead shot of Crescent from behind her as she is stepping through a hatch off on one side of the church. Maybe behind it? It seems to be one of those large, old-fashioned double basement doors that would lead down into a cellar, as she seems to be stepping into darkness. The photo itself is very black and white, and she carries two large gas cans into her hands. You immediately snap out of it, just in time to actually see Crescent herself, walking out from behind the cathedral. Crescent, at this point, you have successfully enacted your insurance policy, so to speak. And you have now begun to move around the church towards the front doors. She appears nervous, Onyx, as she adjusts her jacket. It looks a little puffed out. She might have something inside her jacket. You're not entirely sure. Maybe those Molotovs you saw. She looks her best to flip her hair and appear as strangely put together as possible in an old-fashioned kind of way. Hair out of the face, chin up. She seems to carry this strange etiquette that you don't normally see from her. Looks unnatural, but well rehearsed. As she makes her way up the steps and begins to open the cathedral door.
So she's walking in?
She's going in.
Then I am going to start to walk around back to the entrance I saw her go in before, where she was putting in her insurance policy. And I'm going to use Unseen Passage as I try and get into the church.
All right, go ahead and give me a rouse check.
All right. I do not get hungrier.
Very good. You never tried this before. Just kind of trial by fire, but we'll see what happens. As you close your eyes, you feel a coldness run over your skin. You almost feel hollow. It's not uncomfortable, but it feels as if air itself could just pass through you. You look down at yourself, you can still see yourself. You have this strange sense that maybe only you can. As you step out into the street, just to make yourself feel better, there's a small couple, man and woman, young 20s, maybe rushing home. Girls can have an overly fluffy jacket over her head as she seems protecting her hair from the rain. Her significant other, husband, boyfriend, you're not sure, doesn't matter, seems to be covering her with his own jacket as they rush by. You actually have to step out of the way as they nearly run smack into you. And yet, they just happen to also sidestep you at the same time, but they don't acknowledge you. It's as if you were never there.
That's a good sign.
This is fun.
Okay. I'm going to very gently and quietly pull out my blueprints that I nagged from my library of the church. And I'm going to head in looking for, clues as to what I saw. See if I can find similar images, see if anything seems recognizable so I know where I'm going. And I'm going to try and enact my own insurance policy.
Fair enough. We will come back to you in just a moment, so don't lose your place. You're going to have to help me here because there's going to be a lot of moving parts now. Everybody was making plots, and I've been having to juggle everybody. Sorry, babe.
You told me not to tell him, and I was texting him as you were doing that, like, sure, yeah, I won't tell Peter.
It's all right. Just give me...
Just for our audience at home,
nauseous.
Everybody's been making plots, and practically Acer and Grayson were left out of the whole thing. But the women here, they were literally plotting against each other to help each other.
We're no help at all, right? Leave us out of the plan.
Hey,
Who needs a filthy thin blood on their side, right?
If anything, Crescent did this because she values Acer so much, and she's tired of people treating him like cattle sent to a slaughter. So if anything, this is proving that she values you way too much.
Yes. And I did this because I felt horrible about how the other night went, and I felt like I failed Crescent. So I am trying my best to remedy that.
You did not!
Fair enough,
Onyx
fair
felt
enough.
that way.
Yeah, Acer is now very mad at both of you.
So we fade back in now, and I apologize for me not switching the pictures. Lots of things are happening. Both of it's happening at the center, so I'll move it when time comes. Anyway, backing over to the SSC, Acer, you make your way through the tinted tunnels as you open the lab, as Enzo has pulled open what appears to be a small manga in Inuyasha, first edition, as he is reading it backwards. He's looking very hard. I was like, why? This doesn't make sense. It's not...
Japanese read from right to left, not the point. We have trouble.
Okay.
Crescent's gone rogue, and I'm pretty sure, before I say anything, storyteller, being a chemist, can I put two and two together and seeing the beakers and the alcohol out?
You have a pretty passive wits. You're missing a few beakers. You're missing actually some denser fabrics. You're missing some rudimentary supplies that could be easily act as stoppers. It's not hard to tell. Crescent left packing some liquid fire, probably some Molotovs, probably made out of rough rubbing alcohol and several other caustic fluids that would be considered flammable if combined and ignited.
Thank you. And I will continue with, it seems like Crescent helped herself to my stuff and is currently making a firebomb. I'm not sure what she intends to do, but I'm thinking if worse comes to worse, that church is going down in flames with both of them in it. We gotta stop her now.
And so you see him bite his lip as he slowly closes the manga and sits off to the side. That's what she meant. Damn it.
What?
Okay. She ordered me to stay here. Last night, she was asking me a lot of questions about Eleonora, and I thought she was just lamenting. That's what she said she was doing. And before I could really get into it, she was really adamant about playing the harp for me one last time. Apparently she felt bad it happened to us, but she made me promise her to stay here and keep an eye on you guys. And it just fucking dawns on me why.
Yeah, here's the thing, and I hold up the necklace. I don't think she plans on coming back.
Fat lot of good that does me. I can't leave. No, you don't even start. I'm telling you, I physically can't leave.
Okay, fine. You're going to do something else. Go down into the kitchen. A bag of salt and a bag of flour, the biggest one they have. Grab it, bring it to the garage. I'm going to go see if I can find some fire-retardant clothes. I'll meet you in the garage.
Done. Okay, yeah. He hops up, straightens his shirt a little bit, and out the front of the lab door. In fact, before he's even able to even turn tail, you look over, he's just gone.
Oh, for once in my life, I love when he does that. And I'm going to text... I'm going to text Grayson, and I'm going to say, meet in the garage quickly. And I know I would have some, fire retardant sheets that comes in a lot of fire packs.
I believe, based on the supplies we talked about, since you guys put more into your surgery at the time, but you did upgrade your lab, I would say you definitely, without having to look too hard, you have a stack of fire-retardant blankets for accidental sunlight exposure, as well as any accidental incendiary-related accidents. And I would definitely say, you know what? Let's see here. The fire blankets for sure. I'll say you have 2 sets of outfits that would be considered fire resistant. Not quite to the grade of fireman's gear, but of similar veins. Usually for welders.
Okay, especially with how much I light myself on fire, that's a good thing. I'm going to grab those 2 outfits, and I'm going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4 blankets.
Easy enough. It's a lot of supplies as you're bundling yourself up all together, and you begin making your way towards the garage. As Grayson, what are you doing?
I am so thankful that I at least pulled these supplies. I knew I would need them as I go go over to my shelf, and I slide open what looks to be more of a solid part, but I push it in and I slide it open. There is a small, random placings of ritual gear, and I will going to attempt to enact the Firewalker ritual.
So, it's been a long time since you felt the need to pull this ritual out. It's been almost a few months since the last time I cast this.
Indeed.
You've never done it with someone that wasn't next to you, though. So you're not entirely sure this might go. It might be a bit harder. As you begin gathering the necessary supplies on your desk, the chalice, the fire sticks, anything you need, the incense. And as you begin to start wondering through some of your self-doubt, you hear and that voice vibrates in the back of your mind. Don't be so scared. You've done this before. Come. Let me help. I'm happy to be of service to my friends. We can do this. We can do this together. I'm fed and well. Let me help you. As you look back to the book still on your desk.
Yes. Urgency calls for it. I am thankful, my friend, as I bring my supplies over to the desk and I put the chalice in front of the book, open it up and place the incense sticks around and dash in a few pieces here and there.
All right. Go ahead and give me a rouse check for this ritual.
I am going to get hungry.
You get a little hungrier as that dictator stirs. You hear a cracking of your neck within your own mind. Yet again, the sheep have wandered from their pen. Don't you know what the hell you're doing, Mr. Holland? You're supposed to be the shepherd, keeping an eye on your flock, and now they roam stragged.
Yes, but what if my flock has gone and told me of a wandering sheep? The flock grows, my friend.
A flock does not speak. A flock does not have opinions. A flock follows the shepherd and the cane to where they go. A shepherd is the one who makes decisions. Do I need to come out again to handle up your mess?
It's not required tonight. I can handle this.
Yeah, you can handle this. We'll see. As you slip the veins open, allow the vitae to begin to fill the chalice. You bring the incense around as that bluish smoke begins to coalesce around the chalice. A sparking of embers begin to infringe upon the blood. And you bring up the knife and your fingertips. How many do you wish to sacrifice? Are you going to sacrifice enough fingertips for all of your friends, including yourself, or a select few?
So, including me, I would need to sacrifice 4.
You would need to give up 4 fingertips. It wouldn't, as always, they don't impair you, but it is 4 rolls to will yourself to cut them off.
I like insurance, and I've given a little blood what is a little bit of flesh.
All right. So, who's the first to benefit from your incantation? Just so I know the order of how far you're able to get, just in case something fails.
I would say the first I want is definitely Haley.
Stamina plus resolve.
I'm going to resolve.
To pay your first penance.
Okay. I would like to use a willpower.
You take a point of willpower damage.
Oh. Much better. 3 successes.
3 is what you need. The first fingertip comes off. Your hands shook on that one. What's the next one as you move to next digit?
Just been too long, that's all. It's like I mutter to myself, that's all. It's just been some time, that's all. I will. Next one will go to Onyx.
Stamina plus resolve again.
Suddenly really thankful I have summoned to stamina and resolve.
Tremere must be in bodily health and mind.
Yes, 4 successes.
Second digit comes off cleanly. Getting the motions again. The third digit, your next target.
Yes, sir. Will be first to charge in. He has to go next.
Stamina resolve.
This is a lot of fingertips.
Big coterie.
I know! Okay, still 3.
3 successes.
Sorry.
Your hands begin to shake as the pain is excruciating as you hesitate. And the third digit comes off in clean swipe. And then the last for yourself. Give me one more resolve. Stamina plus resolve for yourself. As your hands are now just shaking, as you're just white-knuckling and gripping from the pain and trying to maintain focus as you continue to breathe these chants. You even hear your new friend, easy, one motion, right at the knuckle. You can do it.
5 successes.
As the last one after another, in your mind, this was minutes, but in fact seconds as knuckle, 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 one after another, just all hit the chalice. You give one final breath. Go give me your intelligence plus blood sorcery. This DC is going to be a little higher than normal, but you can add a +2 as you hear your friend whisper, now, this is where things get interesting. As you feel the book vibrate, the eye opens wide, and that red iris begins to glow, and you feel the table begin to shake as wisps of strange mist-like red begin to emanate off the pages and coalesce around the chalice. So intelligence, blood sorcery, +2.
Okay. As my sorcery that's a 3 now?
Your blood sorcery is 3, correct.
Oh, excuse me. I will add one more. Okay, so it's 6 successes with a critical.
6 successes is exactly what you need.
Oh.
It's a bit higher due to the distance. Even though the book doesn't per se a penalty, I figure this is a fair exchange. So, you finish the incantation. You give a small flourish as the mist almost seems to grab a hold of the chalice, and a blue flame immediately erupts and dissipates into black smoke. You close your eyes as black as smoke exhales up into your nostrils. 3 other wisps taking off in random directions. In this exact moment, almost instantaneously, word for word, Crescent, as you're about to step in, you feel that familiar black smoke kind of stumble into your nostrils. Next, Onyx, as you come around the corner, that never has happened before, as you feel almost like this hot air force its way up into your nose, into your lungs, lifting up to your toes for just a moment. You catch yourself at the wall as you come back down. That was weird.
Ooh.
And Acer, as you make your way to the garage, carrying your supply, you immediately begin hovering for a moment and stumble, dropping some of the blankets and clothes. Shit, fuck, damn it, Grayson!
I'm going to text Grayson at that point real fast and just text him saying, I'm guessing that was you.
I reach for the phone with my one hand and then take it with the other hand. Like, yeah, probably not a great idea. As I open up my phone, send a message. You're a little bit more fire retardant, let's say.
And I'm just going to text back, I'm betting on your help tonight. We'll see how this goes. And then I'm just going to send that and keep looking.
No worries. We'll be coming to you in a moment. We're just having the boys have to catch up a little. But for those that do not remember, for the rest of the night, fire only does superficial damage first, not straight aggravated. Yay, magic.
Ow.
Yeah.
These Tremeres come in handy.
That they do. Handy. Ha, ha, ha.
Ah, cheese is real today.
As the flame within the chalice boils down to cinders, just small bits of gray smoke coming out from the hot heated chalice, you slowly close the book with your injured hand. Not enough to cause any detriment, but that really hurts still. You're going to have to focus on that to help yourself. You realize there were some points where you may not have had the will to cut cleanly, and that would have ruined the whole thing. You feel in the back of your mind, I knew you could do it. Good luck. I hope you don't burn to ashes. I'm tired. Can I rest, please?
I quickly turn back around to the book. Yes, my friend. I very gently scoop him up and gently close his pages.
The eye looks over you sleepily. The pages vibrate as you pick it up. Thank you, my friend. Just make sure to bring back more food. I'm hungry.
Yes, indeed. Not to worry, my friend. Easy now. Easy. As I very lower him into the drawer and tightly close it and lock it again.
At this point, I believe Acer already did instruct you in a way to go to the garage, correct?
Yes, he did.
You gather your supplies, so you have your mask, you have your knuckles. Anything else you're bringing?
My boots.
Your knife boots.
Night boots.
Your knife boots. You got it. Dressing yourself for bear, knuckles in hand, your mask on, begin to make your way to the garage as he sees what, Acer, in the garage?
He sees... Okay, first off, is there any car in here that is still working?
Looks like Rudy has the company truck. Looks like you guys still have the small patient transport van.
That one it is. So you see Acer throwing a whole bunch of blankets in the back of the van. And is Enzo there with me at this point?
Not yet.
Okay, then all he's doing is throwing blankets in the van, and then after he does that, he's going to take this really big overcoat and just kind of throw it on, put the hood up, and then take these like oversized pants as well and just slip them on over his clothes.
That should offer a modicum of protection, though not guaranteed.
Boot. And he's just gonna sit there like
as
just
Grayson,
waiting for everyone to come.
You come around the corner just as Acer is fastening up these very large, paggy, almost welder's pants.
An interesting choice of nightwear, but I'm not one to judge.
Semi-flame retardant. I can't do magic like you. I have to rely on science, which, by the way, tosses you a bear.
Oh, those are heavy.
Oh,
Just in case.
Right. Safety's sake, we need insurances tonight.
Yeah, you also gotta go. It's just cars around here, right?
The garage is mostly a combination of minor tools needed to perform some basic maintenance on any vehicles in-house that you guys don't have any type of machine shop or anything excessive, but there are some rudimentary tools needed for basic maintenance. Grayson's truck is quickly starting to turn less into a truck and more into a pile of stress-induced scrap. Medical's car is here, though there is a small little sticky note on it that you could glance over and read that says, Acer, don't touch.
Damn it, she knows me so well. Why does everyone know me so well?
And then there's also the company van as Enzo, as he comes through what the secret patch on the other side carrying the various items you requested. You guys need to make bigger tunnels. This is not good for freighting shit. As he comes over and
I'll take your advice on that, and then he just starts shoving the bag of flour and the bag of salt into the car as well.
By the way, I may have insinuated that I was one of your new night managers and promised the cook a raise for the inconvenience, as we are now missing cake night, apparently.
Who did you talk to specifically, and did you give any names?
A woman named Marie. She seems to be one of the cooks in the kitchen. She was the little myth that I was taking the last bag of flour.
That's honestly fine.
I'd turn back around and I'm going to
than a cake.
I turn around and I message Rudy and Danica. By the way, going out tonight, there is a new person on staff.
Rudy just sends a thumbs up with a winky face emoji. Danica very quickly responds with, it's a longer message, but for brevity, she basically makes it very clear she would like to speak to you further about any staff changes, so that way she stays in the loop and keep the center running for you. But it's a much more wordier than that, a little bit more of an affectionate undertone.
Still very endearing, we'll say.
She's trying.
And I'll just toss Grayson the keys and just be like, start her up, as I close the back of the van and just pretty much make sure everything's set to go. I'm also going to turn to Enzo and just be like,
just bring her back.
Take out the... Yeah. I'm going to take out the necklace and put it in his hand.
He grabs it, slowly closing his hand around it, looking at the bit of silver chain. And please yell at her for me, for playing me like this.
Oh, trust me. I will.
I'll make sure the place doesn't burn down while you're gone. Poor choice of words. I apologize. There will be no fires. Maybe Marie. You know what? I don't know why I'm acting like I'm employed here. I'm not employed. What the fuck am I doing?
You know, that brings up a good point. Halfway down that aisle in the secret passage, there is a red button behind a plastic casing. If this place is on fire, push that. You'll be fine.
Puts a thumbs up. Good. Anyway, why waste time? Go, go, go. She's going to do something stupid. Let's go.
Yep. My usual antics. And then I'm just going to hop in the front seat. Let's go, Grayson.
I'm in the vehicle ready to go as I slip my gloves on.
Enzo walks over and presses the button, allowing the garage door to open as you all begin pulling your way out into the property. Grayson, you look back in the rear mirror as you do see Enzo getting smaller and smaller. You see him actually lift a leg and try to step over the threshold of the garage. He actually watches you stand at 1 foot very long. So as you pull up to the main front gate, the foot slowly comes back down. The garage slowly begins to close, and you can see his hands are just gripped tight, a very stern frustration upon his face. It makes sense. He's blood bonded. Couldn't go even though he wants to.
Loyalty. Not even that.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm really chaotic with my ideas, but at least I tell you people about my chaotic ideas.
We all need to have another chat after we're back.
I get a smacker first.
You do whatever you wish.
Good, because I brought a lot of salt and a lot of flour. Things are going to get interesting really quick.
I look down at my hand like, definitely worth it. Absolutely.
With that, the boys, finally up to speed with the plots behind the screen, begin careening onto the main thoroughway. How fast are you driving, Grayson? As you have a bit of ground to cover if you're going to back up your companions.
Oh boy. How busy are the roads?
Seattle traffic, my friend. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but as soon as you begin moving towards the exit, you can already see a line of cars of the night shift individuals coming home from work. Buses are hitting the exits. It's nighttime rush, my friend.
Oh boy. Okay. I know it's not a long distance, but I still want to get there quicker than usual.
Are you going to try and drive safely, or are you going to start posting some traffic laws?
I don't want to draw attention to ourselves as, I'm nuts.
Are you looking more towards back roads?
Yes. Let's say some back roads.
Let's go ahead and give me a wits plus streetwise.
Can I help him by adding a die by using maps?
Google Maps? Absolutely. It's nice to have technology without a Sombra in the car for once.
Okay, so you said wits and streetwise?
Wits and streetwise +1, as Acer is playing passenger seat director.
Great. I'll take it.
Gotta be honest, I love the challenge of having the Sombra in the car. Let's not make this a habit.
Nice when the radio isn't going crazy.
It's fine. Eventually I can be herself.
Not too bad. 3 successes.
3 successes. Do you wish to roll a bit higher? The higher you get, the more time you shave. I'll say overall, this is a bare minimum success. But the higher you get, the more time I'll consider you guys manage to shave off, and it will help dictate how fast you guys arrive and when.
I'd be willing to use a willpower to reroll some.
All right, you burn a willpower. Grayson digging in deep already at the start of the night, but if you got it, use it.
You want to drive. You want to drive. You're getting it. Okay, that changes it to a 6 because I rolled a critical.
6 successes. Grayson, that needle stays exactly 5 miles over the speed limit at any given time, but you guys are taking a multitude of back roads, and you are hitting those corners as hard as you can push this car. So you're having to hold in the shit grip as sharp left, suddenly sharp right. You end up cutting off a woman what appears to be in a old blue, light canary blue convertible. As you fly by, you see an old woman with curly gray hair just flip you off as you just completely cut her off with nearly inches from her headlights as you merge onto a center street, hitting a different thoroughway of the industrial district.
I swear karma's going to get us one day, and that old woman's going to come and just kill us all. I promise you that.
I'm worried. We keep seeing her. I'm getting... ask Onyx about that at some point.
I would. This is really weird. Like, now that I know that Kindred exists and freaking specters and God knows what else out there, I would not be surprised if she's like some multi-dimensional being that could just appear everywhere at once.
Baba Yaga, guys.
Again, you realize now why I don't have my abilities. I see other things on all the time.
By the way, I'm going to need to study your bow later. I'm going to see if I can take that. I would love to see the specters and all that shit. Take it right here.
Made it.
You fly through a set of intersection right when about 2 or 3 teenagers in the middle of the night are crossing the street. You swerve around them as they jump back, and you can hear a stream of cursing as you just fly on by. And with that, we fade back into, well, in this case, the woman of the night.
Real quick, I know I sent him a text message earlier as I was walking in. Can I add something to that?
Absolutely.
Okay. I know I already said it, but I just pausing and thinking about what I've learned so far of this crew, and I message him again and saying, I'm warning you, don't just come storming in. Don't let Acer just barge in. Let her have her moment. There's a 30% chance this would work.
The Malkavian has the exact percentage.
I do, actually. I had 3 visions, and I know exactly how each 3 can go. He was very descriptive.
She rolled very well.
For the record, me barging in helped you out the last time you were in a burning building.
It did. But I had a vision this time, and I'm just saying, give Crescent a chance here. She's got backup.
You're lucky I'm starting to like you.
She's got backup.
That's the quote of the night. So, this is going to be very interesting narrating for Crescent and Onyx, but we'll go ahead and go over to Crescent to start things off, as she technically, out of all this dynamic, is the first in line. As Crescent, you feel, as you're about to pull on these cathedral doors, a sudden rush of hot air forces its way into your dead lungs. You lift up to your toes for a moment. You come back down your feet, clenching your hand upon the large handles of the door of the cathedral. You instantly know the jig is up. You probably, depending on how Grayson drives, maybe have about between 15 to 30 minutes before the backup crew shows up. Because you recognize that sensation of resistance to fire. How specific? Oh, Onyx must be involved now.
Well, let's hope it's the 30-minute. And I will open the door and walk in. As I always do.
That cool, chilled air welcomes you into the cathedral. Its illustrious stone and wooden halls, dancing with gentle candlelight. Slowly close the door behind you. It echoes slightly. There doesn't seem to be anyone at the moment. And then, wait, you hear footsteps. And Eleanor's voice. Easy, Thomas, easy. I told you, you're doing well for the church. You're doing very well. But let's not have you be too overly ambitious. You still have to maintain your life. You still have to keep a proper balance, though God appreciates your devotion. I can assure you of that. But one thing at a time. As you hear the sound of your brother's voice, yes, I know, but with everything going on, Eleanor, it's just, I feel like the harder I work, the better things have been turning out. And I want to do more. You've given great guidance, and I feel like I feel a calling to give back. As you can hear the sounds of their footsteps coming from not too far away on the right side of the cathedral, coming down the hall.
Can I hide?
Absolutely. There are pews. There are the confessional booths nearby. There are marble pillars. Take your pick.
Marble pillar, and I will shadow cloak this bitch.
All right. Give me a stealth plus dexterity in this case. Now, for the sake of your specialization, are you hiding from Eleanor, or are you hiding from Thomas?
I don't want to appear deceptive, so I'm doing it mainly for Thomas, because if he sees me, that's going to turn into a whole thing.
Then then you do not get your specialty in this regard.
Yeah, but I still get Shadow Cloak.
Yes, you still get your bonus to Shadow Cloak.
Which is still the bonus. Cool. I'm sorry, you said stealth and which one?
Stealth plus dexterity. Actually, in this case, this is more catching you off guard. It's going to be stealth plus composure.
I hate you for that.
You're going to hate me for a lot of things, I'm sure, by the end of the night.
Gosh darn it! All right.
There's a reason why I demanded an afternoon cuddle, because I'm not 100% convinced that tonight you're going to be my best friend.
Oh, no.
No. I will not talk to you the rest of the night, probably.
I filled my reservoir up full affection so I can last the punishment. That's storytelling.
You just got rid of my fleetness, too. Gosh darn it. All right. That's fine. Awful. Free success.
I'm so glad I decided to help.
Me too.
Me too, Onyx.
As am I.
3 successes.
3 successes, yes.
He's fairly distracted.
Okay. Yay. Love that.
You hide yourself behind the nearest pillar by one of the pews as you continue to listen to the conversation and hear the steps growing louder as Eleonora, speaking that very calm, almost clairvoyant voice of hers, it trills lightly within the air, and you feel that small calling to her side at regality, and you know she's working her charm. That sweet, sweet charm that she does upon all of her herd, so to speak. I know, but in time. First, you need to give my regards to... What was your girlfriend's name again? Ava? Yes, that sweet girl. Give my regards to her. Let her know that I am praying for her, and I am more than happy for her to come in with you. I think that'd be a very good first step. You bring her in, and we'll see if she feels comfortable here. From there, I think that might be a good start for you both. How about that, Thomas? You know, she has been looking for a church since I've convinced her to move in with me. She doesn't feel safe at home, so I thought it was the best. Like, I know. You can do it right now. I don't want you getting emotional, and I do need to close the church up for now. I have some work I need to attend to, but let's just start with that. Go on. Go pick up some flowers. Go bring her a nice box of chocolates and go see her at the hospital. I'm sure she's missing you. Right. Thank you, Lenora. As Crescent, you begin sidestepping around the pillar, as you can feel the presence moving behind you. Do you happen to try and glance at your brother? You haven't seen him in a long time.
I was about to say, yeah. I want to see how he's doing and how he's grown.
If your heart could beat, it would stop for a moment again. As you take a small peek around the corner, as you get a first look at Thomas, and God, it's been about 10 years, hasn't it? He's not that little
Longer than that. 19.
19 years. He's not that little boy anymore. You look at him now, he's a grown man. He is a very handsome young man, too. Almost a spitting image of your father, but in a much softer way. A strong jawline, a nice even tan. Looks like he maybe came back from a vacation recently. He has shorter blonde hair that's styled up in a slightly up spiked do. It's a little short to your taste, but it is rather attractive on him. Clean shaven on the face, really close shave. He's actually wearing what appears to be a very expensive looking outfit. Not suit, not tie, nice silk shirt, dark dress pants, very bright white shoes, polished. And your memory hits. That's right, Mr. Myers gave him a good job. He promised to take care of him too. It seems that Myers has been holding up on his end of the deal, as you can see a large Rolex on one side of his wrist. Very pricey, very glittery, even in this low light. And he looks happy. He looks at Eleanor with this bright-eyed look and a white smile on his face, a perfectly straight teeth. There appears to be a small clasp ring on his left hand as well. He's doing well for himself. He looks good. Looks really good. How does it feel to see him doing well without you?
Bittersweet. There's the initial sting, but it's, she would still hope for the best for him, but it's also a little envious because it makes her wonder where she would have been right now.
Eleonora puts a gentle hand on Thomas's back. She is dressed in a beautiful black gown. A little bit lower cut for her than average, but nothing below the collarbone. Don't want to be too unchaste. As much flirt as she's willing to show. She wears very beautiful silk-lined gloves that are fingerless to the point, comes up and disappears into the gown itself, and it comes to a very long train behind her that looks almost like starlight in the night sky. Her hair is half up, curls of brown cascade around her elegant face as she opens the front door. No. Go. I'm sure she's missing you. You already stayed too long to help clean the place. I know. It's just... I just want to help. I want to help. And you are doing fine, my boy. You're doing fine. Go. Thank you. He reaches out and to shake her hands, but she pulls her hands back. I'm sorry. Delicate gloves. Right. Sorry. Just thank you. Really, thank you. She raises a hand one more time as she ushers him out, and the door slowly closes. After a few moments, there's a long silence before their back turned to you. She goes, "It's been too long."
I will step out from the pillar.
You've grown a little rusty. As she slowly turns and smiles at you, Crescent.
What does my brother have to do with this?
He wishes to join the service. As obviously we have an open position for a new organ player, and apparently he dabbles in music. He's been coming regularly for, I want to say, about a month and a half now, but she waves a hand. I don't think that necessarily concerns you anymore, since you decided to throw your lot in so tightly with your coterie, which is fine. Young birds have to leave the nest eventually, but with Enzo gone, I've had to make decisions around here to keep this place flowing for the wandering flock that need guidance in the city, and there are many that need guidance in the city.
I'm sure.
So, as she straightens her dress, I'm happy to see you, regardless. What brings on this surprise? I did suspect I'm suspecting your most recent misadventures that I would be hearing from you. As you can see, she reaches behind her and she pulls out a small little bag of leather. Just dangling it. She walks
Do I
over.
recognize it?
It is the same bag of Duncan's ash that Grayson had given the Wraith. As she walks over, takes you by the hand, and just drops it in your hand.
I've actually come to negotiate.
Come. Working so fast towards business. Is there no love between us still, Crescent?
Of course there is.
Then why do you continue to lie to me?
What do you want to know?
Do you have Enzo? Do you know where he is?
I'm keeping him safe.
See,
You confided in me, did you not?
you see her curl her hand. And the smile falters. I did. I also warned you not to get in my way. You are dabbling with things that are above your position or your place, and so is a traitor to the Camarilla, and it must be taken care of.
How is he a traitor for you attacking him? That doesn't add up.
I am the sheriff. When laws are broken, I have the right. And he is also my childer, which under the Camarilla tradition makes it doubly so.
Well, that's why I've come to negotiate.
Negotiations. Fine. Before we start any type of negotiations, what has willed you so to want to stand up so dangerously for Enzo for his crimes? He's a liar. He's deceitful. And he's been working against the Camarilla and Dragos for some time, based on my discoveries. So, what has moved you to suddenly want to defend when you have obviously developed such an abhorrent relationship against him?
I'm just here to discuss his safety.
His safety. Oh, this will be interesting. Fine. Come.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Shh. Come. We are to speak matters of business. I'd rather not do it where someone could easily walk into the church during confessional hours. As she begins walking her way down the side halls.
I'll follow.
As you begin to follow, we move over to you, Onyx. You begin to maneuver your way towards the back end of the church. Your footsteps don't make a sound. Not even an imprint in the wet grass, well manicured and trimmed. It's not hard to find the back hatch. It's still left slightly ajar. You can see as you walked over to this old-fashioned seller's entrance. The doors are closed, but where there was a latch has been ripped clean off. The wood splintered.
I am hoping that I have tried to start making my way in while maybe Thomas was still there.
Absolutely. As you can hear now, the slight head of voices nearby, this church is not very well insulated when it comes to being underneath the ground. You very slowly begin to move the hatch door open, and moving it painfully slow. For as you hear it squeak, you almost feel the slight reverberation of sound coalesce you and Makes you worry that maybe if you make too much noise, whatever ability that keeps you hidden might fade. So you move painfully slow, gently nestle one door open as you begin to step into the darkness. Your senses are quickly attuning to the dark. It's cold down here in this basement. You step down onto the steps onto hard stone as you can hear the wood above you creak every so often with footsteps. Quickly look around the room. You can see shelves of supplies here and there of various different types of tools, some spare parts, some vacuums, cleaning supplies, general maintenance. Do you push further in from this entrance?
Yeah, so I'll be looking at the blueprint and map that I have that is probably on the older side, I'm imagining. And I'm trying to see if what I saw in my vision, like if I would kind of maybe get an idea for what that might look like.
What Crescent was working on, or towards that mausoleum we spoke of?
Yes, that.
The mausoleum?
I'm looking for, I want that first. So I'm looking for things that might look like that.
Okay. First thing, as you carefully glance at the page, making as little noise as possible, this room is much smaller than what's indicated on the blueprint. You look around, it's... The size of this room doesn't match this blueprint. There's walls here that shouldn't be there. You look over, you can see the maintenance pump equipment where it looks tampered with. There are harsh scratch marks over the hardened plastic at the top, and it's been hastily reassigned. With your sharper wits, you can even see the slight red tinge of a jerry can stuffed against a corner haphazardly. And as you continue to investigate, you freeze as there's someone standing in the corner. The head is slack-jawed, eyes wide, the jaws... As it's just staring from the corner of the room, just eyes wide looking out, and it's looking straight at you. And you just wait. It does nothing. These cataract's eyes just slowly scan towards the open door of the basement. And begin stumbling towards that open door. It walks right past you. And it's heading towards the opening.
I'm gonna give it time and start slowly stepping in the opposite direction, more inward, very, very carefully. Yeah, my dog did not like that sound.
You sidestep very quietly as this zombie, this hollowed shell of what used to be a man, could have been at one point probably very handsome, but has long begun to see the signs of decay. Cataract's eyes, sunken in face, bony fingers as he looks around the corner towards the open door and begins to step up the staircase towards the opening.
While he's doing that, I'm keeping my eye on him, but I would like to be using my heightened senses since I noticed that the room seems smaller. If there's any, if you can hear, like rooms when they're hollowed out, you can kind of
hear the air a little bit.
Yeah, I'm looking for that.
All right, go ahead and give me for this. It's going to be a wits plus awareness plus your aspects.
All right.
I will say that as you're listening and you're watching, a zombie does walk out to the top of the steps. It just stands there in the open air and stares at the sky for a moment. There's a sound of a car passerby as the head takes off. And it is now booked it after the sound of the car.
Sweet. Probably not good, but something to deal with later.
I will take note. There's a zombie in Seattle.
Perfect.
There's a lot of them in the harbor, too.
I got 6.
6 successes. A small bit of the back of your mind as you have seen these things and how aggressive they are. And that does put a red flag of, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Not a problem that you are focusing on this moment because the sound of this creature rapidly fades into the distance as its high-pitched screams begin to echo down the streets after the sound of a moving car It's probably some distance away, even with your heightened hearing. Hopefully you guys can handle that later. Whatever masquerade breach that might come of that. I will say, though, Onyx, you did break a tenet. Allowing a supernatural creature as feral as this to run rampant into the city, that is a threat and a breach of the masquerade, and you do take a stain.
Shit.
So on your any open humanity square, go ahead and take a slash. We'll go ahead and roll the end of the night and see if that matters.
Cool.
Plot twist, we're going to take care of it just on our way over there. Runs in front of the car.
Right. Runs
Was
over
that?
it.
I don't know.
We will see.
Keep driving. We got more important things to worry about.
Cool. Well, I will make note of that real fast. Stupid pen. Okay.
So be very, just so I feel like a tutorial at this moment, just because, Onyx has never had to get a stain before. Stains,
I haven't. I've been good.
You have been overly good until now. Stains are essentially marks against your humanity. You are dead. You are not human. You are essentially facading as human. However, there are certain times in the night where you may give in to darker tendencies or selfish desires. Those reflect as stains. At the end of your night, you'll have to roll against those stains to see if you lose humanity. Every point of humanity you lose, you step closer and closer to the beast that you are. And with those can come penalties. So, no danger yet, but you have allowed your selfishness for the task at hand to potentially put the secret world of darkness at risk, which has broken a chronicle tenet, which has resulted in your stain. Regardless, 6 successes. That small concern at the back of your mind, you're too focused on the task at hand. That someone's probably going to take care of that. It's not your problem. You listen as you can hear the conversation upstairs with Crescent and Eleonora. You begin to hear their footsteps trudging deeper towards the back end of the church. Eleonora's voice sounds pleasant, almost inviting you to talk to her. But then, as Crescent responds, there's a coldness in her voice and a stress in Crescent's. Tensions are already starting to flare upstairs.
I never liked her. Showboat her.
Ooh.
But you do hear something else. On the far left-hand side of the farthest corner of the wall, where this undead creature was standing, you hear the sound of wind cutting through wood, a slight whistling as it reverberates over empty space. You hear the sounds of mice crawling in through different openings. There are more rooms down here. This space was at one point a lot bigger. Losing your heightened senses, you can see the walls. The wall is very well blended in, but it's newer. It doesn't match some of the original architecture of this building. It seems secondhand. This was not originally part of the building. This is different. This was put here after the renovation. You also hear something else. You hear more groaning above you. It's very quiet. It's not in this space, but it's above you. Off to each side of the building, just every now and then a shuffle against wood. A slight chuffing of labored breaths almost. Sounds like 6 successes, at least a dozen bodies above you. And you also hear to your left, right by this wall, the quiet sound of and it's a chain scraping against floor. Damn it. Can't sleep down here. Fuck. It's cold. It's fucking raining again. You hear another small voice. Just shut up and try to sleep. Or she comes back. You need your strength. There are people down here as well.
Oh. You just ticked off Onyx's, you just sent off the Onyx alarm. Okay. That's not good.
There appears to be a lot more down here than meets the eye.
Frig. Okay. Very quickly, because I gotta keep this moving. It doesn't sit well with me, but I'm gonna try and back up Crescent first. Take out the big bad wolf, then we can deal with the rest.
Okay.
So, I'm going to try and see if there's a way into this newly renovated area.
With 6 successes, I'm not going to make you do bastic rolls because that was actually a very high roll. With your heightened senses, you're able to feel around with the sensation of your skin, feel along the wall itself, kind of searching blindly. There's no discernible type of mechanic that you can see here, no fancy in the book stone that you impress. It's not some fantasy world. It's a wall, but you feel and feel and feel. There's a slight change of air. It's a draft. There's a draft there. There's a little bit there, and there. There's a seam. It's almost invisible. It's almost perfectly flush, polished to a T, but it's there. And you just lean and the wall shifts. It's heavy. It wouldn't blow open naturally without some effort, but you're able to very carefully begin to push against it. However, it's going to make noise.
Yeah.
And noise threatens your obfuscate.
I'm going to try. So it's pushing inward?
It pushes almost like a revolving door where it comes sideways, it seems.
Sideways.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well then, okay, I'm going to put myself up very, very flat against this thing. And then I'm going to tilt it open just a bit. And I'm going to lean on the side that, when those things rotate, one side is, like they would want to naturally go out, probably like the left side. Because I'm going to stay on that right. That's a little harder to get through, but I'm going to leave the gap open for a little bit in case any more fun-loving, shuffling creatures want to wander out.
Absolutely. For this, I'm going to go ahead and wits plus obfuscate. You can't get away from the noise.
Yep. But at least I can flatten myself.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
Obfuscate's a fun little power. It's very fluid, so to speak.
Yes, it is. 4.
4 successes, okay. Go ahead and double check this. So, you flat yourself against the wall and, this is going to suck. And begin pushing against the wall very slowly. You feel every sense of noise trickle along your skin, sending your hair on edge. It's almost like this echo is vibrating through you. That piece where it echoes doesn't quite feel as hollow momentarily as you're just gritting your teeth, holding yourself against that wall. Finally, you wait, look down the hall. It's empty. So there's a long hallway that ends in a dead end. There's no lights down here. If you didn't have your heightened senses, you would be effectively blind. As you just, there's nothing. And do you keep the passage open or do you close it?
If there's nothing there, I'm probably going to risk closing it.
You come all the way in. As you feel it eventually lock into place, your back flush against it, you wait. Looking around, feel the air get cold. It's colder in here. It's so cold, you feel like you could see your breath if you could breathe. And you wait. You hear a whoosh of air off to your right. Whoosh of air behind you, just behind this wall. And then you see it. This dash of shadow that just cuts through the hall right in front of you. Cuts back again and hovers into the hall, looks around. The head twitches rapidly from side to side, looking around as if many facial expressions are just mirroring over this shadowy, human-esque form as it hovers in the air. Spins around towards your direction. Seems to squint its eyes. This pained, angered expression stuck on its face. Looks over towards you. Whips around. Takes off.
Okay.
And you begin moving deeper.
Boy. Yep.
Within this hallway, as you can be mindful with that roll, you can still hear the movement of air. This thing, while it may not have seen you, it's not gone.
Gotcha. Then I'm being very careful.
You see in front of you as you move a little bit further down, you can still hear some of that chain to your left adjusting every now and then, the slight ricketing of maybe metal gates and a slight breeze every now and then, as there is drafts that cut through here every now and then. You can hear heartbeats. Boom, 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 boom. Very rhythmic, some slower, some faster, some stronger, some weaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 different sets of beats, all moving in different, slightly different rhythms to your left. There's a lot of people down here.
Good meals, huh?
As you can see, there is a door at the end of the hall to your left and a door about halfway through to your right. Appears to be not much less a typical door, but more of just a natural blocker. To the right, it could be almost just shoved aside very gently. However, the one on the very far at the end of the hall to the left, that door, as you take a peek at it, that one's made of iron with rivets and locks. You can see, funny enough, there are 6 deadbolts on the outside of the door.
Got it.
This door is meant to keep people in, not out.
In. And that's, do I hear the heartbeats coming from that one?
You hear them coming from the left side, yes. At this moment, we're going to go back to Crescent. Eleonora continues to lead you through the main hall. There are attendees in Catholic religious garb, some men, some women. The familiar whitened veils over their faces, their heads down. Some are sweeping, others are wiping down art and statues. Others are carefully lighting candles as you go by. With your new senses, you don't know why you never noticed it before. These people, they never seem to want to speak to you. You always just thought they were afraid of you. But they don't even acknowledge that you're there. You walk by and they do sidestep as you get too close, but as you come by, you can smell decay, death. These people were never alive. You had been sharing a cathedral with dead men and women ever since Eleonora had brought this place up from the ashes. The attendees, the loyalists of hers, all just hollowed walking corpses, repeating a task like a broken record. And now that you're aware of it, you kind of start to see the pattern. One wipes a statue, then walks by, wipes a different statue, and walks by. And so on and so forth until you see she's at the end of the hall. And then she does it the exact same way, but in reverse, wipes a statue again, and begin walking down the hall. All these souls just imitating life, doing a singular task. As Eleonora walks down the hall, opens the very regal handcrafted door with a beautiful ornate braided cross carved into the mahogany as she opens the door of a silver handle and lets you inside.
I'll step inside.
She closes the door into her back office, following behind you. Go on, sit. If you want to speak business, you might as well do it right. There's a bit of a sharpness to her voice, almost an irritation. You already know you're quickly stepping on her patience, the way you're acting, but it doesn't seem to bother you as much. It's still there. It doesn't quite cause you to curl in as you used to. It's uncomfortable, and you know you're pushing it, but not as bad. She lets out before you, as you can see, this beautiful ornate room with a very large, almost love seat style sofa set up. Dark crimson red, beautiful artistic design, beautiful fabrics, soft as... Do you sit down?
Yeah.
You sit down on the couch, just plush and comfortable, almost invitingly so. There's a small fireplace crackling on one corner, giving an air of warmth to this room. You're a bit unnerved as you do see it. Your mind quickly races to fire, but it's a safe enough distance. As she comes around to a very well-carved handmaster desk and sits in a very tall chair of her own. There are different documents and books scattered about, so there's a few religious iconography that she kind of pushes off to the side to straighten things up a little bit. Everything seems to be in a place before she straightens her dress, sits down, and crosses her hands in front of her, staring at you.
I apologize for my rudeness.
Apology
Seeing
accepted.
Thomas caught me off guard.
I can understand that. It has been 19 years?
Outside of character correction, it was actually 16. I miscalculated that, but yes.
That's fine.
Years.
You know better than she does, it seems.
16, yeah.
16. It has been a long
grown
time.
up.
Oh, he has. He has, Crescent. He's done very well for himself. Seems he has a lovely, pretty girlfriend of his that he seems completely smitten over. It's rather adorable. He's even hinted at the idea of having me officiate when the time comes.
He's already jumping to that.
Not quite. I did recommend he slow things down. It's only been a couple months, but he really adores her. It seems like most recent events, though, you know how people are. People get hurt, some people wind up in the hospital, and all of a sudden mortals want to jump ship and pledge their undying souls for each other.
I think it's kind of romantic.
You've always been a naive romantic.
I suppose so.
So, back to the business at hand. Judging based on your reaction, I can understand that you know where Enzo is?
I do.
And would I be so remiss after seeing this wonderful little gift I made sure Grayson got to put his hands on? I'm to assume he's probably at the center right now.
Possibly.
Are you trying to be withdrawing and hidden, or you just don't want to answer straightforwardly?
I just don't want to answer straightforwardly.
She raises an eyebrow. You feel that itch in the back of your mind to answer cleanly, but you push through it. Seems her hold is not quite as strong as it used to be. It's still there. That's answer enough. So, go ahead and plead your case, my hound. What reasoning do you have to keep me from enacting the prince's will and protecting the Camarilla, especially in these trying times where every traitor only adds against the rebelling force against us?
Might I ask what the evidence is here? Because last time we spoke, I thought this was just between us. I didn't realize that this was Prince business.
Of course it is. He assaulted a sheriff. You don't make attacks like that without having a very specific motive in mind, and upon further digging...
But you attacked him. You confided in me about that. I want to help you. I was being honest about that. I still am.
Go ahead and give me charisma plus persuasion.
Oh, yay, because I'm so good at that.
You are, though.
Shut up. Is there even a chance of me winning if it's one die?
Only one? No. You only have one? Damn.
Charisma, she is not good at talking. She is
Says
not.
me.
No, I need those for later. You shut your mouth.
Explode.
I would say...
My charisma is not good, and persuasion is 0. She is not good for talking. I did not make her a talker.
I would say if it is worth it, just as your storyteller with options, you could potentially do it if you roused.
At that point, you'd have to get a crit, though. And seeing as how you were at 300...
give me 3 extra die. It'd give me 3 extra die.
That's right, because your potency.
Your potency is 3, and that would give you a total of, let me double check. Yeah, it'd give you a total of 4 dice to play with. So it is possible if you rouse, but that does risk your ever encroaching hunger, as you are sitting at 3 hunger.
And I might need that for later, but at the same time, this is important. Ah!
Okay. So think about it this way: the max you can get without getting a what was the other one? Not bestial failure.
Messy crit.
Messy crit. Like the max you can get
crit.
without getting a messy crit is 4.
However,
anything above that, it'll be a messy crit.
However, I will say if she doesn't rouse for this and she tries to roll with 1, which is impossible, it would be an automatic bestial failure anyway, because she would have to roll a red die. Or an automatic failure in general. If she rolled a skull, it'd be a bestial failure.
I was about to say, it's only if I...
So if you want to try and succeed this, you're going to have to rouse, or you can just willingly fail.
The question is, do you think you can win with 4 successes? Because how he plays the criticals. You can win on a critical, but it's going to cost you something.
You could potentially win at a cost. There could, if you do messy crit, there could be compulsions. There could be frenzies. There could be other consequences.
This is like the first real roll of it. Ah!
So it's up to you. It's up to you.
The way I see it is, you could risk it for success with complications potentially, or just take the L in this roll.
Give me as much time as you can. Is my advice.
That's the point.
I'm not in place yet. So
I'm rousing. All right.
All right.
Oh shit!
Don't fail.
Blood is taking its tax.
Blood. Success.
Success.
Okay. Okay, I love
3
that.
more
Now
dice.
the next step, not getting a messy. So that's 4 dice with 300. Okay, that's a success. I love that. That's a success. I love that. No. Okay. 2 successes.
No messies.
No messies.
Okay.
Okay.
I will allow you to win at a cost. You're being honest. You are being honest. However, have been treading a very fine line of withholding information. You want to help. But you're also not willing to give Eleonora her grounds either. You're trying to be as diplomatic as possible. This is not your strong suit. And knowing the fact that you are giving a lie by omission in this case, it is starting to revel up the bond. If you wish to succeed, we're going to have to go ahead and test the blood bond. If you fail that blood bond test, you will not be able to lie to her, and you will answer her questions honestly if she asks, as long as she's within your presence. Any lie you try to do will result in you having to check for it. Hard.
lie like the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know if I can risk that.
Your chances of succeeding against your blood bond are...
What is the blood bond roll again? Can you remind me?
It would
So I
be
can see
your
how much
intelligence
I
plus
can
resolve, I believe. Let me double check. I always forget.
Okay, that's not terrible, actually.
Let me double check the bond just to be sure, because it's been a hot minute since you've been very good about avoiding Eleonora in general.
I have.
Let's see here. And, a little gift from Mr. Myers has been slowly helping.
Yes. Thank you for being patient, everybody.
Yep, it's going to be your resolve plus intelligence.
I'm going to risk that.
All right? The words about to come out of your mouth, but you feel that bond tugging against you. You are not being 100% truthful to her, and it pains you to not be transparent with your benevolent sire, the woman that brought you back from the depths only to rise again. Intelligence plus resolve, please. Include your hunger.
Is 4 successes.
4
And
successes.
no messy.
4 successes. The words come out cleanly.
Oh. Fine. I'm not good at this.
No,
You
you are doing
Take one chance, then you take the next, and the next, and the next until we
I
get
got
this.
this. I'm just giving
Exactly.
Onyx some time. So you got this.
I need it.
It's all about the steps. It's all about the steps.
I'm gonna back you up, but I gotta.
I know. All right, I got this.
The words come out, you like honeyed water. You put emotion into it. You lean in. And Eleanor squints her eyes at you. Suddenly, the paleness returns to her face. She stops breathing as her more vampiric nature comes to the surface, no longer keeping the facade of this gentle priestess of the Catholic faith, but of Eleonora, the 222-year-old sheriff, and your sire. Crescent, I know you care. But Enzo being out in the world is a danger. It is my mess, and I have to clean it up, and you standing in my way is not going to make things better. You risk putting yourself in front of things that I do not want to do. But I will have to if you continue to push me. I opened up to you that night not to give you the excuse that you can just do as you please. I gave that to you as a warning to stay out of my way. I don't want to hurt you.
You also made me make a promise that night, too.
If I came after you, not Enzo. Enzo has sealed his fate, and it is a mess that I have to clean up. I made a mistake with him.
He will keep quiet.
He will not. Look, you are young. You are young enough to still believe that there are honest individuals among us. But I am old. I am old enough to know that promises are never eternal. Morality is a construct. And conscience? It only leaves you alone when it suits your needs. It's all fake. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. Most likely that whatever grace you and Mr. Holland have given him, when that runs out, then he'll start getting desperate. What happens when he gets desperate, Crescent, and he goes to the prince? He's always been
not going to.
No, you don't know that.
I do know that.
No, you don't. I went to the prince when we first got here, me and Enzo. And Enzo did terrible things for me. Things that would make your blood run colder than it already is. His sense of morality lines up to whoever best suits him. He's a strong individual, strong man. He's a soldier. I've crafted him to be so. He's a dog. You point where you want him to go, you command him, and he follows. And like a dog, he needs to be disciplined, but at this case, he is rabid. He is a danger, not only to you, to everyone around him, but to the Camarilla and our very fragile position here. You don't think that we haven't lost face in the court thanks to Duncan McTavish? Thanks to the Anarch movement? Thanks to the rampant Thin Bloods that have been bleeding away from the Camarilla like flocks of sheep towards a safety? Running to the Anarchs? Do you know how many Thin Bloods I've had to put down who have tried to run the moment the Anarchs got a foothold of territory? Our very way of being is at risk, and there are many within the courts. There are many Primogen that seek to undo what has been done. Our stance with the Camarilla is fragile. And it's only by showing loyalty can we hope to survive. And Enzo threatens that loyalty. What happens when he goes to the prince or speaks to a Primogen or speaks to anyone with a certain sense of wanting to gain on the matter?
He won't. I can make it so he doesn't.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Anything to keep the peace with this?
There is the blood bond. You could bind him to you indefinitely. Make him so zealously in love with you that he wouldn't dare defy you, even at his strongest. See right there, as she points to your face. You won't. See, I made the same mistake with you. And I realized that I needed to make that with you. So that way it safeguards yourself, because I don't want anything bad to happen to you. But to Enzo, it's a different story. I allowed him too much freedom. I grew complacent in this city, thinking that what I had given him, he would reciprocate in kind through loyalty. But like a fool, I loosened my grip, and look what happened. He betrayed me, threatened me, attacked me. I did not expect it. I did not see it coming. That's how he got away. Enzo is a threat, and you do not have the experience nor the resolve to do what it takes. You are kind and soft. You are soft because you are young. You've only walked in this world for a blink of an eye, and I have walked in it for over 200 years.
So maybe I have some new perspective.
What can you tell me about perspective, Crescent? You know what? Let's play this game, shall we? As she leans back in her chair, staring down at you, there's this aura of fear that begins to radiate off of this intimidation, this almost daunting feeling that begins to loom around her as the room begins to grow a bit darker as she leans back in her chair. And she looks like a queen, sitting upon her throne, looking down at you. Her presence seems so much larger all of a sudden to you, and it's terrifying. Tell me, what can your less than 50 years worth of experience, less than 50 years worth of perspective, enlighten me on that I have seen through several lifetimes? Go on. Speak your mind, since you've grown so emboldened.
Acer overheard our discussion, and like me, he wants to find a way to help you.
Again, another neonate dabbling in affairs that he does not understand.
He's capable.
No, he's not. He thinks he is. Don't think I haven't pried information from his previous experiences as well. I may not be so technically inclined, but I understand how one orders supplies nowadays, experiments with science. You think he's not the first to try and cure himself? You think he's the first to try and dabble in things that only made things worse?
But he has things that have worked.
Worked. Tell me what's worked.
He made it possible for sunlight to hurt him less.
Something blood type
made a
naturally.
Prototype of a phone that I might be able to use.
Anila Sombra, more technically inclined than myself, can use one. I just prefer not to.
Point is that we want to help.
Wanting to help is like a child going to their mother when there are bills to be paid and food needs to be bought and say, "Here, mommy, let me help with a kind word." It makes you feel better in the moment, but it does nothing productive. The problem is not fixed. The bill has to be paid, the debt collector must be quenched, and the food must be obtained. You want to help. My sweet child, I understand that. But you are dabbling in matters that you are too young to understand. While you may have friends, they will not help you in this case.
And that's where I think you're wrong.
You can have your opinion, but again, you are a child. You do not understand what is right or wrong yet. I knew I should have never let you leave this church. It is all that Mr. Holland's fault. Filling your head with lies and fanciful talk.
None of this is Mr. Holland.
You're right. It's all of them.
What is that supposed to mean?
Grayson, Acer, Enzo, that new pink-haired wench that you've come so close to know. What was her name? Onyx? All of them have been an added influence on you. They poisoned your mind to reason. You used to be so sharp when you were home. When you were under my shelter. When
you mean because I was obedient, right?
Go ahead and give me a test against the blood bonds, as you are fighting back. Intelligence plus resolve. Onyx, I see you there.
She was like, "Oh,
Acer started it."
I'm sorry, I didn't know how this machine worked. I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
3 successes.
How many?
3. No mesties. There's no stars.
3. Normally your bond would be very weak, but now you were antagonizing, you were right in front of her, so it's difficult to resist, but it's just enough.
Thank the Lord. Girl,
the words
keep
come out
doing
of
it.
you like vitriol. The words come out of you like vitriol. Go ahead and say again, so that because I was slightly distracted.
You mean because I was obedient, right?
She lowers her nose down at you, as you can see her eyes darken slightly. Yes. Because you were obedient. Because you followed orders. She leans forward now, and I can see now You've also been conspiring against me. That's why you don't come home. I can't. I'm such a fool. I'm such a fool.
I'm trying to help you, not conspire.
That's a load of lies. You have been lying about the bond. I can see it now all over your face. There it is. That's the look he gave me. Enzo. That's the look Enzo gave me. Right before he assaulted me. I don't know how. I sure as hell am going to find out. Your loyalty to me has been weakening. You never would have dared disrespect me like that before.
So that's it then.
She lifts her head to you.
All those honey words don't matter. Nothing that you said to me before matters.
Every word I ever spoke to you, my child.
Don't do that.
Was the truth. In this room, I have been patient with you, like a growing teenager fleeing the nest. To strike out in the world, I have allowed your independence, for you to strike out and take risks. I have allowed you to do things I would never have allowed my child in the past, and it has all been for your benefit. You have grown strong. You have garnered respect. You are a hound. And you show such disrespect. For all the love I could give, for everything that I've given. Now you try to give me this ultimatum. When I've done everything I can to warn you to stay out of my way, that I am not safe to stand in front of. I don't want to...
You're messing with people I care about, though.
You are so short-sighted. You still have a lot to learn. People come and go. Your witch friend will grow old and die. Thomas will grow old and die. Acer's luck will run out. He will eventually die. Grayson could die tomorrow. None of us know when our time will end, but I have been eternal. And I have always given you safe harbor, have I not? I've always been willing to stand in front of the oncoming storm and with my back to it embrace you, have I not? Why do you break my heart, Crescent? Why, after I opened up to you and let you peek into the world I've had to crawl from, on my knees, exposed, I let you peek on the suffering because I felt you were ready to understand what the world of darkness is, what it means to be a la sombra. And now, after I gave you such a warning and put my trust into you, now you try to force my hand. I am a sheriff. Enzo is a risk.
I'm not going to let you hurt him.
I give you one last chance. As your sire and as your sheriff, I order you to go to the center. You will take Enzo and you will bring him to me to meet his final death by my hand. Don't tempt me, Crescent. Please.
I love you, and I'm going to lean in. But no. And off goes the plan! Oh, yay!
Funny thing, Crescent.
I knew something was going to happen.
It has been 3 months to the day. To the hour.
What?
To the minute. To the second. Since you last fed from Eleonora under her influence. And on this final stroke, whatever bond between you both snaps. and we're going to take a very small break.
I'm gonna go throw up now.
And we are back, everyone. Thank you all for being so patient. Things are ramping up.
They're gonna be real hot in a second.
All right, Onyx, we fade back in with you as this conversation above you can hear it amongst all the other information that you're acquiring as it begins to progress along. 2 paths ahead of you. Which do you pick?
So I kind of generally assumed which one the heartbeats were behind, which was the iron door, correct?
Yep.
And there were a couple other doors as well. Did I catch if I hear anything coming from that area?
So there's one other door to your right, about halfway through the hallway. And it's less of a door, it's a makeshift opening with a bit of tapestry in front of it. There does not appear to be any specific sounds, but every now and then you'll hear that brief motion of air moving through. Now you've come to realize that it wasn't just a draft. More of those specters are down here. How many, you don't know, but you saw at least one.
Okay. I'm going to text the boys, both of them. Yep. And I'm going to tell them about the back entrance. And I'm going to quickly say something like, you can enter here. Looks like Sheriff has, I don't know how I'm going to put this. Looks like Sheriff has, prisoners, human snacks, I don't know. Humans chained up in basement. There you go.
Human pantry.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Can you get them out, essentially. Something similar, simple. And then I would like to kind of trying to time it with these little fun ghosty things going by to take a peek behind said tapestry.
So, Acer, your tailbone slams into your spine as Grayson hits a curb hard, making a sharp, hard right, hitting the core of the city. After about 10 minutes, probably maybe about 5 minutes away, Grayson, it seems without success, you've cut your time in half.
Oh, we're doing good. We're almost there.
We need to get there.
Yeah, I know. God, I really hope that she doesn't do anything stupid like me. I'm supposed to be the chaotic one. If she starts going chaotic, I don't know what I'm bringing to this party.
Hey, so you scare me sometimes, you know that?
I have to make jokes. I'm nervous as fuck.
Grayson, you cut up a bus as you fly through the intersection. Just barely manages to break and taps into a fire hydrant as you come cutting by.
Be fine.
It's fine. It's a fire hydrant. It'll put out whatever fire it runs into.
Fire, I don't like it. Why do you insist on using it?
Because apparently that's the one weapon that is pretty much effective against any and all kindred.
Looting us.
Yes! That's why we have these and your magic-ness. Sorry, I'm not thinking straight. I can't lose you guys, okay? I just can't.
Glance over to Acer. Finally, the thing we agree on.
Oh, God, I hope she's okay.
You all continue speeding your way through as you take another sharp left turn through the course of your slamming Acer up into the window as he holds on tight. You feel the vantage begin to lean a little bit to the right as you manage to cut your way through. As you move back over to Onyx.
Shove myself over to equal it out again.
Yep, just poof. Small dent in the side of the door now. Fix that later. As we move back over to Onyx, conversation is starting to get a bit elevated above you. You hear raised voices, and things have not hit quite at the argumentative point. Doesn't take a detective to know that this is going to probably have a one way or another type moment. So, we're get moving. As you,
keep moving.
Using your obfuscate, you very quickly just lean back, wait for the air to hit by, and then push the curtain and glance into the room. You're at 3 hunger. What you see before you makes your teeth itch. I need you to go ahead and give me a hunger frenzy check.
Cool.
Ready?
It's going to be your unspent humanity, half of it rounded down, plus your unspent willpower. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dice total, yes.
Cool. Five.
5 successes, more than enough.
Oh.
As you immediately just look back, and you go looking again, keeping your teeth at bay, keeping that beast locked in its small little happy box where it belongs. As you see before you, it's a very simple room. There is a scarred mark along the ground in a massive circle with a stone altar of fine craftsmanship. At one point, probably plastered right in the middle. There's nothing on it, but coating almost every inch of this room on the floor is a thick layer of congealed, dead, decaying blood. There's blood that has been splattered along the walls in various types of runic patterns and iconography. Strange types of swirling patterns cross themselves in an odd and horrific, macabre way across this room. But the part that concerns you the most is upon one side of the farthest wall as you peek through, facing the widest part of the altar. It almost just looks like someone had drawn a doorway in blood. This long arch with scribblings of runes that come across the threshold, and the entryway to what would be a doorway looks like it's been scarred black, like it's been burnt and ashed. You can smell sulfur in this room.
Oh, crap.
This is you have no idea what you're looking at, but this is some voodoo shit of epic proportion in here, and it does not sit well with you. In fact, just
do not like that.
As you lean your head, you almost feel ill. You don't know why, but just being within the space just makes you feel ill, like there's something wrong here.
Taking out my phone and taking pictures.
I will say, just be very careful not to move away or obfuscate. Flashes of light.
No
bright.
flash.
No flash?
No flash.
Okay.
I know phones are good enough now. We can add some.
We have a thin blood.
Yeah, we can add some highlights up the exposure later.
I'll say in this case, with your higher rolls before, and I'll allow it in this in particular situation, is it doesn't appear to be any eyes directly in your general spot at this moment. As you take some quick photographs, how accurately they are, we'll see later.
But I am quickly. The other thing that I'm doing is quickly taking note. Once I take photos, as I'm going through the space, I've got a little notebook as usual, and I'm kind of writing down some of the things that I'm seeing.
Things you see are graphically horrific. You have a decent high level in wits, so I won't really make you have to roll too hard to get an overall sense. It's occult. It's easy to see in the plain to say. This altar looks roughly human-sized. There are prisoners down here. There are zombies. There are ghosts. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to put 2 and 2 together that somewhere along the line, Eleonora is doing something that is causing it, and she does it here.
Do I have any... Can I tell that... I mean, I know this room is bad, but does it have anything to do with what I need it to be right now?
What you're looking for? No. But... looking a bit further in the room, you do see there is another tapestried archway, not too far away, but across this room. You'll have to step through it.
All right, I'll walk through it, but I'm going to avoid, if there's circles on the ground and things like that, I would like to walk around.
You'd be very mindful to hug against the wall, being very mindful not to touch the wall either, as you can smell the decayed blood stained against the stonework. This is going to be another wits plus obfuscate as you freeze and whoosh, another course of shadow flies right in front of you on this patrol.
Got it. 5.
5 successes.
Oh, okay today.
Are you rolling okay today?
I am happy with that.
On average, you roll the highest out of this group. Don't give me that.
It's true.
Sorry.
He has a point.
It's the new dice we made her.
They are. They're beautiful. Look, they're so shiny. Look at how beautiful. Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
Ooh.
So pretty.
Yeah.
Bam.
A pair of those for my rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Sid?
Serious dramatic moment, people!
Sorry. So 5, sir.
5 successes. You inch your way along the wall, and the moment you hear that wind coming in, you just freeze, not moving a muscle. Play dead, have you? As that wraith spirals above the altar, and you watch as it slowly rotates its head along the room, spins the other way, looks over towards your direction, starts floating towards you. You can feel the air growing colder and colder. It chills you to the bone, and it takes everything in you just to not move. Please don't see me. Please don't see me. Please don't see me. You hear Declan in your mind, run. Run, he sees you. He sees you. Just run. Go now. You can get out. You can get out. Just go. As you just stay there. And it passes just inches from your shoulder through the wall, past you. Not daring that out of breath, you just continue to walk around the side of the wall, piece by piece, moving away to the tapestried room. At this point, you can hear Crescent and Eldritch Horse are getting elevated. They're starting to fight. They're starting to argue. Emotions are starting to get tense. Time is running out.
We need to, I'll get into that room.
You move into the next room as you pull back the tapestry, peeking in. No blood in here. But it's equally as disturbing. You see before you another altar, but this time there is a myriad of lit candles still burning, but they glow with black flame out of black wax. You can see twisted wrought iron. No, that's not iron. That's silver. There are twisted bands of silver that come along the altar and are melted against the ground. You can see rings of salt around the altar itself in one large ring along the walls, though. It almost looked like there are impressions of what would be bodies, but they're char marks, as if something had been flash fired against the wall. And it just left this imprint of different positions. Some people in horror and covering their face. Other people, they were thrown against the wall and instantly evaporated. There was a fine layer of sulfur and soot over this entire room. You could see sitting upon the altar itself a opened book, old, yellowed pages, almost beyond time, at least 100 years old, and a silver dagger just sitting right in front of it, perfectly organized. There appears to be small different parts of jars and incense that are actively burning. The smell that hits you is sage, rosemary, thyme, very cleansing, healing herbs used for purity, and it just fills this area. But with your senses, you smell an underlying smell of decay coming from the various jars that are in front of you. This is another ritual room. What it does, you don't know, but for other uses, it seems. One thing that alarms you, though, as you look around, there's no other door here. There's no way deeper that you can see. But this doesn't look like the room you saw.
Okay. Would using premonition even help me at this point?
It might. You could try and force a vision. It will just risk a hunger. And you feel your teeth itch. You know you haven't eaten in a while, and your head is not in a good space on a normal day, but you have the entire time been fearing Declan just in the back of your mind. You even hear your own father, his voice competing against yours. You feel like your fangs itch. You feel that sting in the back of your throat. You've had to push yourself so far, but you're not sure what to do at this moment. You could try and force premonition. You have the ability to do so, but it is a risk.
I might. Screw it.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah, screw it.
Give me a rouse check.
Okay. Woo!
Success?
Yeah.
The emo night fangirl in your mind stays quiet as you just, one more time, lean against the wall. You dip into that chaos that you can feel just spiraling around you, almost like reaching out and brushing through just numerous cobwebs wherever you walk. But this time, instead of trying to dodge it, you reach out with your mind and you tug at one, and your body goes rigid as you try to force a premonition. Go ahead and give me your roll, I believe, because I still do remember this. I'm going to memorize this eventually. It's going to be a resolve plus aspects.
Yep. Yee!
That's no.
5 successes. Focusing all of your effort into one key detail, how to proceed forward, how to find what you're looking for. This vision is gentle. So jarring your visions typically are. Your body just goes rigid for a moment, your eyes roll back. And then you look back and you didn't fall into your mind like you normally do. Oh no, did it fail? You didn't gather anything. You start to feel that panic begin to well up, but then you happen to look over. You blink, there's a small flash behind your eyes, very gentle, as you could see a small bit of light coming underneath a section of wall. You blink again and it's gone. Another wall. Another rotating wall. You just saw exactly where it is.
Gotcha. Okay. Being mindful of any other spooks, I am moving over there quickly.
I need one more wits plus obfuscate. And this is going to be a lot harder as you are risking your obfuscate here. I'm going to say your assailant even gains a bonus to the roll here. And Crescent, what are you at this exact moment as Onyx hears this conversation reaches peak, as we have now caught up time? What's your next move?
Eyes are tearing up a bit, but I'll still say what I say. And I'm going to rapid reflex break that Molotov down on the ground in front of her.
Are you going to try and hit her with it? Or are you just trying to scare her?
I will attempt to hit her with it, but if it misses, I'm still doing what I need to do, and I'm going to try and bolt. It's
still a volatile container of fire. Rapid reflexes, you're up on your feet, you pull the bottle, you immediately just discharge your gun to make a spark, and you huck it straight in front of her, trying to hit her dead of mass. Give me a dexterity plus athletics. There is a baseline difficulty because it is regrettably a surprise for her.
I hate myself.
It's okay, I don't hate you.
Well, that makes one of us, so I appreciate you. 2 successes. Ooh, I like that. Okay, 4 successes.
4 successes. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
As Onyx, your roll.
Okay. It's not horrible, but I'm like, do I want to re-roll part of it? Can I?
If you want to re-roll, you can burn a point of willpower to re-roll up to 3 black die. And do not forget, you also have blood bags to pull from if you feel like you need it. As well as rousing. You have options.
I don't know. I feel bad about taking any of the other stuff.
They're literally there for us to use.
Yeah, just don't take a whole lot because we might need them.
That's what I'm worried about.
But you can take like one or two could still make a difference.
Don't forget, you could also risk rousing for a bonus dive in your case. I think bonus 2 in your case. Yes.
Yeah, she gets 2, I think.
And you can also re-roll willpower.
I am in a room full of occult blood, and I'm already itchy, so...
I'm already itchy.
It's what you're willing to risk. You could do it one at a time. My rule here is as long as you don't call the roll and I tell you what the roll is, that you can keep trying to add to your benefits. So if you want to just burn a willpower and see how that goes first, you can do so. If you want to rouse afterwards, you can do so. And then take a blood bag, you can do so. But you have to basically be happy with the roll, and once you call it, it's done.
Okay, willpower then?
All right, take a point of willpower damage.
And what will that do?
You can reroll up to 3 black die.
Okay. It moved it from a 5 to a 7.
7 successes? Are you happy? Okay. Are you happy with that roll?
I guess, yeah, I'll take it.
All right, 7 successes it is. And no messy criticals or anything? Just to check?
Thankfully, no.
Wow.
I was worried about that.
Shadowblade dice now on sale.
I'm telling you, it's never going to be this good again.
7 successes. That door moves silently, as this has been used often. And as you begin to push, you stop for just a moment as you feel that shadow inches behind you. You feel that freezing breath. As if the moment that door was touched, it responded, sensing a threat, and you feel it looming. You feel freezing breath. Just right over your shoulder. You go wide-eyed as you can look to your side and you can feel it. You can't see it, but you feel this freezing form inches from your face. And it hovers there, just waiting. Before you finally have the bravery to look. Gone. You're able to just push the wall just enough for you to slip your body inside, it rewriting itself silently right behind you. As Onyx, you stand within this room, and you look around to see beautiful polished white stone. There's a very small window. Maybe the size of a basement window at one point. It's not much, but it lets in just enough to see a small bit of moonlight into this room. A small bit of fresh air. The air smells clean. The stone above you is polished to a regal shine. As you can see in front of you, carvings of plaques. 1, 2, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 different graves carved into the wall of this mausoleum. And your eyes immediately lock in on the name in your vision. Onto Eleonora's daughter's grave. And we fade away as Grayson, you break hard as you skid right in front of the cathedral. You both look out to see there's still lights flickering. Maybe you've been early. Maybe you're on time.
Okay. We gotta get in there. We gotta get in there now.
There is a
Remember,
night-shattering crack of glass. And you all hear the sound of sprinklers go off. The cathedral is dark. And that will have been ended. Crescent, as we fade away. So I know I can't be mean to you because you are pregnant and I don't want to give you that much stress.
Thanks!
As we fade away from this night, we freeze on an image of that Molotov thrown from your hand as it shatters against your sire's chest, bathing her in blue-red flame. For now, we fade away, but we're not done. We'll come back again next week to continue this episode, as sometimes there's just too much to cram into one night. But for now, please be happy to join us again next week as we continue our episode, and we'll get to see, hopefully, the dramatic conclusion. For better or for worse, but whatever happens, choices have been made, bonds have been broken, and friends prove their loyalty tonight. But for now, keep each other close, watch each other's backs. May God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you all next time on While Seattle Sleeps. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night. See you next week.
Night.